Big hole in the hearts of Henry County law enforcement officers. Earlier today, more than 100 officers and members of the community gathered to pray in memory of Officer Paramhans Desai. Officer Desai was killed while responding to a domestic dispute call last week. And as Fox 5's Rob DiRienzo reports now, this loss has hit the law enforcement community especially hard.
Well, there's surely a lot of pain in this community right now. One by one, community members and members of law enforcement laid flowers on the hood of the cruiser that once was Officer Paramhans Desai. This prayer vigil was meant to begin a very long healing process.
I pray this for every man or woman that is protecting us. I simply pray and ask God that you would protect them. And then, Lord, I pray for wisdom for every officer.
More than 100 members of the community and law enforcement came together in prayer outside of Henry County Police Headquarters to lift up Officer Desai's memory.
We're unified behind this family who's given up so much today.
Officer Desai's widow was barely able to stand on her own, completely overcome with grief. One of his little boys laid his hand on his dad's picture. Mourners piled flowers on top of Desai's cruiser in honor of his life, cut short during a domestic dispute call last week.
It's challenging right now, quite frankly, not to be angry. It's challenging right now not to be upset and not to understand why we're here in something that was so senseless and should not have happened.
Police say 22-year-old Jordan Jackson shot Officer Desai. Days later, he died. Then Jackson turned the gun on himself.
Things like this really help, knowing that they continue to be remembered.
Alex Maddox would know. Her husband, Locust Grove Patrolman Chase Maddox, was shot and killed in the line of duty in 2018. She came out to show the Desais they're not alone in this. Her message to the community right now:
remember the kids, remember the wife. When you get down on your knees at night, just pray for them and give them the strength to keep going, continue to say their names, continue to love them.
The funeral service for Officer Desai is scheduled for Sunday. Coming up at 6, how the police department to the fallen officer. In McDonough, Rob DiRienzo, Fox 5 News.